Yes, now let me just...
Good. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the Phantom Racing YouTube channel here on a Thursday night. The beginning of the Season 2 playoffs are starting tonight at Richmond Raceway. For our first race of Round 1, it's a 4-race round, and we're going to be kicking things off at the 3-quarter-mile short track at Richmond. And Walbridge here in the booth with me tonight. How you doing, brother?
Doing all right, just making sure that we are indeed live. Doing all right, just making sure that we are.
Yeah, I don't sound like a damn robot on the stream.
Yep, we are live, and I can hear you, so we are good. Oh.
So, Walbridge, you got to spectate and commentate the Pro-Am race here on Saturday. You got the pro guys are going to be taking it, and there's quite a few guys coming up from the Pro-Am being offered the hot seat to race with the big boys tonight. You saw what the Saturday race provided. What can we expect heading into tonight?
What I saw was when the tires start getting worn, or when the field starts getting feisty, you need to watch out for turn 2 exit. Turn 2 exit and turn 3 entry were absolutely brutal on worn tires and during heated battles. We saw a lot of cars get a lot of damage coming out of turn 2, even sometimes on fresh tires, just trying to get too much out of the car, get a little bit too much on exit, and just creamed that outside wall. So definitely those are going to be my two areas of concern. I thought turn 4 was going to be more of a concern, but it ended up everybody got through there pretty fine. It was just turn 4 kind of turned into a problem area once people needed to start recovering their cars when they got loose entering 3.
I agree. I think the name of the game is going to be patience and establishing a rhythm. This is one of those rhythm racetracks where it pays to be very consistent throughout an entire run. Now, I did do some laps earlier in the week with my car, and I could tell you Richmond is probably one of the more difficult tracks to get around. Like, I have a hard time getting any sort of rhythm established for more than 3 laps. So I applaud all of our drivers in the race tonight that are do that for what, about 200 laps tonight? I think that's the longest feature is, and the first stage about 40 or so. So it's definitely gonna be a fight. First stage about 40 between man and machine. Get the cars to lap
Yeah. Right now, apparently, we're having a problem in the stream because they apparently cannot. Oh, no, now I can hear myself. I don't know what's going on, but I think we might be figuring it out. I have to keep that stream on.
Attack for letting us know in the chat.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Let me check. Yeah, we should be good now. I don't know. Bear with us, folks. Some technical difficulties.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm actually leading the stream, so we had some technical difficulties figured out about 10 minutes ago, and apparently they're still rearing their heads around. So while these guys are getting their qualifying done, we're going to make sure that everything's good, so that way we don't have to worry about it while we bring you what is expected to be. If it's anything even remotely close to what Saturday was, this is going to be good. Especially when it's the first round of the playoffs and you guys looking to start off hot when you got such a diverse 4 tracks, which is actually going to be making this first round real interesting.
Absolutely. And what I really like about this first round of the playoffs is the track set is very diverse. Like, you got all sorts of skill sets that these drivers have to tackle if they want to advance to the next round. We got a short track with quite a bit of banking to work with. Then you got a 1.5 miles at Charlotte, which is next week. Then you got another short-ish track in New Hampshire, but that track is super flat. And then you got Talladega to end.
Yeah, and New Hampshire is the track that nobody I've seen wants to go to, because everybody I talk to on Saturday says they are dreading New Hampshire. So that might even be a bigger wild card than Talladega is. And Talladega's, flip a coin, pull a rabbit out of the hat and you might win. New Hampshire sounds like one you're going to have to earn that one. But no, no, in Richmond though, which is where we are tonight, is I just had a thought and it's gone. No. All right, I'm gonna have to come back to that thought. I literally had a thought of what happened, of something I was gonna bring up from Saturday, but it's done. Like, it's out of my head now. Dang it! It was a good thought too. I thought.
Well, while you recover from that, I'll provide something here that could lead us into a little bit of discussion on what to expect and who we can expect from heading into tonight's race. And Showtime Flash, with the points reset now that the playoffs begin, propels to the top of the point standings. Those playoff points very valuable already. With his 5 wins on the year, that's 5 playoff points a pop. So that's 25, plus the amount of starts he made and the stage win, so that's another 5 tacked on there, and that's leapfrogged him ahead of our regular season champion, Elvin, by about 12 points. So our regular season champ, Elvin's coming into this playoffs second in the standings, and Flash, heading into a racetrack he's pretty good at. Last time we raced here, he got the checkered flag. He's looking to repeat tonight.
Yeah. Oh, remember what the thought was? Because it was something you said about banking. So another thing that we need to watch out for here is, like you said about banking, here it's a little bit different on both ends though, right? Like turn 1 and 2 are banked differently than 3 and 4.
Yes.
Yeah, so what we saw was when you tried to make that pass on the inside of turns 1 and 2, you saw cars able to keep that fight going down the backstretch. It was a lot harder in turns 3 and 4, which is why you saw cars getting loose in turns 3 exit, on turn 3 entry. God, that was going to kill me if I didn't remember that. But back to what you said about the points lead, yeah, we saw Showtime absolutely be lighting it up in almost every race he was in. Right now, we know he can win, but does he have the consistency to last those 4 rounds? Because every race, no matter what your point situation, matters now.
Absolutely. And qualifying is wrapped up. And we'll see who will be leading the charge to the green flag tonight for 200 laps around Richmond Raceway. And the pole sitter is Parley in car number 5 at a 20.483. He will take the green with Showtime Flash. Our reigning winner here at Richmond will be on the outside of the front row in car number 7.
Now, who's going to be the guy that we're looking out for? Like, who's going to be your top 2 here?
Well, definitely Flash is one that comes to mind. With the pace that he had here last season, I think he's probably the all-out favorite for the win tonight. Another guy I'm going to be keeping my eye on is the number 42 car of Elvin. He's another car that's really quick here. I know he's been putting in some practice laps. We'll be keeping an eye on to see where he is. I don't know exactly where he is starting. I might have jinxed him because he qualified 7th, so maybe that car is more set up for race pace and not for just a 2-lap dash in qualifying. So I mean, it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish, but, starting a little deep in the field doesn't really help all that much as far as acquiring stage points. So he's gonna have his work cut out for him, especially at a track like Richmond where it's very difficult to pass. Also, shout out to McLovin who's in the chat.
Yes, sir. Ooh, also, before we get going, a lot of you guys who are normals here notice that we're kind of missing somebody. This was very last minute, but we found out today that Hamlin, who's usually in the booth with me on Thursdays, will not, or as you can tell, is not with us right now. He is with his dad, who's in the hospital, if I believe I heard that right. And, we just wanted to give a shout out to Hamlin. Hope that everything goes well on his end, and that it'll be a speedy recovery and he can get back up here in the booth, because it is fun with having Hamlin, because we are like, I feel like our ADHDs and minor autisms really gel when we get excited. So I'm really, prayers in chat. Send all the love you can out to Hamlin for a speedy recovery on that end.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, our drivers they're regathering, starting up a new lobby. I guess some technical issues for them as well.
Yep,
And
those lag storms, man, they're pretty strong today.
they're affecting us all tonight. So I should elaborate. So, of course, mentioning Hamlin Nation not here tonight, with our whole, I guess, all-star cast of broadcasters that this league has access to. Despite
That's
that,
okay, because I get my other favorite. I love going with Timmy.
There was a likelihood that there wasn't even going to be a broadcast tonight. So with Hamlin Nation out tonight, we asked a couple of Inaltown, who used to broadcast with us. He wasn't available. Had a couple of the guy Ed, who was open. He's kind of our emergency guy as well. He wasn't available. I was kind of the last second addition. I got a message about an hour ago. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And then my internet starts to shit the bed. And then Wallbridge, who we tried getting to stream last week, was having sound issues. So if we didn't
Which
figure
we
that
found out
who
was
knows
just
if
me.
we would be able to get a broadcast in tonight. With our diverse cast of characters, and not one of us was for sure to broadcast. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, it was definitely crazy. And yeah, no, my issues were definitely my own.
But we got them resolved now.
Yeah.
And I just let Elvin know that we're ready, so I will let you guys know when the clock hits 0, we can join the lobby.
Yeah, that's all we're waiting on right now. Also, making sure I keep live on the stream. That was something I had a problem with. That was something I had a problem with on Saturday. It was definitely like, because it was my first time like really keeping track of everything, like keeping live, making sure I was live on other people on the stream that I was following. That was cool. Because there were so many times I'm like, oh, I wasn't even live. No wonder why my lap count's wrong.
Yeah. McLovin, this isn't a daycare. We're not presented by Fisher Price, all right? But now he made his pick in the chat. He's picking that 7-car Flash, and that's a smart pick.
All right, racers look like they're entering the race now. So I believe we should be good. Yeah, I'm getting them.
Should be good, and shout out to anyone that's also watching the second race of Daytona. I have no idea if that's even over yet or not, or who's winning that or who's advancing, but
No spoilers! No spoilers!
I'm not
No,
spoiling.
no. Before you even press those keyboard buttons. I mean chat too. Chat better not be spoiling nothing. Because Instagram already spoiled, I think, the first dual race, but I'm not going to say a thing.
I am not Instagram, thankfully.
Yeah, well.
So now our drivers are going to spend this first lap getting lined up in their assigned positions, with Parley being our pole sitter. This will give us a chance to see who's in the field tonight.
Yep, but right now we are green flag.
Pacing.
Actually, now they're in their pace laps. Might be. Everybody's getting in their positions, yeah, because of the lag storm. So while they get in their positions, we are trying to enter. There we go. Now I'm in. All right. Everybody's in their pace laps. It's going to be Parley, P1, Showtime, Flash, P2. Happy, GFR. Is that one who got moved up?
This is a new driver, actually.
Ooh, rookie playing P3. I shoot. In fourth, the 44, which is going to be another car I'm watching. This guy's showing throughout the season. So look for him to get from the back to the front. Kari starting in the back. That's another car I'm looking to get from the back to the front. But I believe this will be the come to green. As we enter the Geico restart zone, we are green flag, and Parley will lead him to it and take the lead by a clear margin. Down into turn one is Showtime Flash. Drops in line. The 6 car of Happy GFR also will drop in. And everybody now finding their first piece of real estate as I see Kari already up 2 spots on the restart, or on the start.
A big lead early on for that 5-car Parley, but it's all going to be about this long run. As we get about 10 laps, 20 laps, we're really going to see who has the overall pace to run up to the front, and these cars are going to be going through transition periods throughout these runs. So they're going to be running tight in the center, breaking loose in turn 2, and also try not to clip that apron, because you clip that thing, it'll upset the balance of your car and slow you down a little bit, so that's something to be careful of. But everyone seems to be settled in right now, and I actually do want to talk about this 6 car of Happy GFR. This is a brand new driver, fresh onto the scene here in Phantom, and putting him straight into the Pro Series with the big boys. And great qualifying effort, starting in 3rd, and he's able to hold on to that 3rd spot so far. And he's not losing sight of the car in front of him, the 7 of Flash. So good run so far for this 6 car. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw it on Saturday too. We had a rookie driver come in, ruffled up a couple of feathers, but I believe for the most part kept it pretty reasonable. If you did watch Saturday, it was the new guy kind of ruffled some feathers. It was all racing moves. I think we'll be good moving forward. But yeah, I can't wait to see what the 6 car has for us. Especially with a P3 qualifying. That's an awesome effort for a first time in here.
Everyone seemed to be pretty even so far in the run, with Parley and Flash leading. Field filler kind of moving up from the bottom lane. He's running in 4th right now. He's got Elvin right behind him in P5. I shoot in this 8 car running in 6th right now.
Yeah.
Looking to make something happen here to start his playoffs.
Right now it's who's got the car for the long run. We saw a lot of guys with short run speed. Ooh, I'm on the board with Kari. He got a little loose coming out of turn 2. That turn 2 exit, if you're not careful, it's going to bite you. And Kari gave that wall a little bit of kiss out of 2. But yeah, going back to Saturday's race, it was that short run. A lot of people had that short run speed, but not very many people could handle the long run. As soon as the long run hit, their cars got super loose, and they had to they could barely hold on to it in corner entry, which was just killing their runs. So that's really what I'm looking for. Is right now I shoot looking to the inside of Elvin Priest in the 42, going into turn 1. As they go side-by-side drag racing down the backstretch into turn 3. I shoot, gonna clear them. Elvin was able to do it through turns 1 and 2, keep side-by-side with them, but as soon as they hit that flatter turn 3, it's really hard to maintain that outside run.
Insert I shoot into the top 5. His car started to break loose a little bit there, but he gathers it up. And will now set his sights on the 44. Now things got a little bit close up at the front with the 5 car Parley, our pole sitter. We might have a little bit of pressure heading onto him tonight. He's got Showtime Flash behind him with 5 wins on the year. Parley, as fast as he has been, has still yet to get that first win here in Phantom. He's got stage wins, he's got poles, another one tonight. But getting that all-elusive checkered flag has just been kind of looming over his head, just haven't been able to finish the deal. He seems to have another fast car to start off with. Can tonight be the night if he plays his cards right?
Yeah, I'm back here with I shoot. I shoot to the inside of the 44 of field filler. Gonna dive into turn 1. Gonna clear him as he comes back up the racetrack. Now I shoot. Oh, he does miss the bottom. Elvin getting a run down the backstretch to the inside of the 44 as well. He's going to clear him through 3. Now here comes the 50. The 44 getting freight trained right now. As now Shack Attack.
Into the mix.
Yeah, he's coming through in the 50 car. Move him up to P6. Field Filler, who is just running 4th, now falls all the way back to P7. And now iShoot has his sights set on the top 3, who are pretty set with just running their stuff right now. Keep it going for the long run. I also didn't know, do we have a like a pit sequence through the stages?
I'm not sure. I haven't been informed on that yet, since this was a last-second deal. So
that is also very true. We will figure it out.
I would assume that maybe there's at least one stop in this first stage, but looking at the fuel numbers, I don't know, it might be close. I mean, these cars, as much as they burn fuel, I feel like they can make it the whole way, but it'll be very close. If there aren't any required pit stops, these cars should be able to last the whole stage, but if not, then we will definitely see at least one round of stops.
Yeah, but we got movement through the back. Field Filler able to get by the 50. The 50 just dropped 3 spots. Shack Attack now in a fight with Kari. He's going to be able to get him on the inside as they come into turn 1 through the tri-oval. He's going to get by Kari as we have a good little fight going on back here. It's Field Filler trying to regain some of that ground that he lost when he missed the corner and had 4 cars go by him. As now, I believe it is old Johnny Boy moving up with him. He passed a couple of cars through that transaction as well. But Parley still out front right now, and and now him and the 7 to Showtime Flash starting to break away from Happy. Happy's starting to lose ground. He might not have that long run speed that I was talking about right now.
No, he started off strong, but now we're about 20 laps in. His car's starting to fade back a little bit, and that 8 car of iShoot looking really strong. He's had some good runs at the short tracks, including a podium finish at Phoenix earlier in the season. So this might be iShoot's strong suit, albeit here in the Phantom Series running these short tracks, and another example of that here tonight running in 4th ahead of the 42 of Elvin Priest. Now, the top 2 are pretty much set in stone. Parley and Flash still pretty even. Parley kind of gained about a 10th or 2 on the 7 car these last few laps, and both of them have definitely gained a lot of time up on the 6 of Happy GFR in his first Phantom start. Now we have another battle for 4th. Elvin and iShoot side by side again.
No, they made contact at it too. As iShoot trying to make the high line work. Nobody's been able to do it yet. Just barely misses the wall coming out of turn 4. They're side by side, drag racing around this short oval at Richmond as iShoot able to keep right with them through turns 1 and 2. But can he do it? No, gives up the spot. The 42 of Elvin Priest able to take away P4. As we saw this too, a lot of guys going back and forth through the field. So we saw that a lot on Saturday.
Outside lane, it's definitely a good way of defending your spot, and it can work for about a lap. But like we saw that 42 get the drive off on corner exit, he was able to stay even with him, and just by entering the turn, he automatically had the spot. So you can fight on the outside, but you can only do it for so long, as the 8 car is, oh my god, he is very loose, and he's going to lose the spot to Field Filler. And now we might be seeing this 8 car fighting for its life with those tires as we're getting close to the end of the stage.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of cars doing that on turn 2 exit. I saw Kari do it a little bit ago. So we're definitely going to have to keep our eye on that as the runs go on. But yeah, iShoot lost a ton of ground on that. Probably used up a little bit too much trying to fight Elvin around this short track that loves to burn up tires if you push your car too hard. There's right now Parley in the 7 car just absolutely outpacing the field. But this is something that we've seen all year. Like Parley he's gotten all the he's gotten poles, gotten stage wins, has definitely finished in the top 5. So we've seen this raw speed from Parley. The only problem is that he just hasn't been able to close on that. Meanwhile, Showtime Flash hasn't really had the same early race results, but he's been able to finish. So they're kind of like two halves of an amazing racer. So which one's going to be able to do what the other can't in order to close this one out?
I think Flash has this great ability to where he doesn't show you everything that he has early on. Like especially if he doesn't need to, right? Like he always comes into these races with a plan. Like even if he doesn't have the fastest car in the field, he still finds a way to finish out these races ahead of everybody else. So I think he's just kind of playing around with the 5 car for a little bit. He actually closed in on him here, so the Battlefield lead might be heating up once again with the 7 car closing in on the 5. Great exit speed that time down the back straightaway and into turn 3. He is right on his bumper, that 7 car.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, we saw it at Dover too. This is exactly how he raced over. He wasn't fighting for the lead, wasn't burning his stuff up until the very end when he really knew what his car could do and he knew how hard he could push it. He absolutely was on rails. So he might be looking to do the same thing again right here, which is just ride your line, stay consistent, so that way you can be in this spot at the end of the race and just make your move when you can.
Parley trying to defend on the bottom. Flash just going to take it to the outside. An interesting line by the 5 car. He kind of washed up a little bit, but Flash not close enough to capitalize. And meanwhile, about 4.5 seconds back, Happy GFR still hanging on to 3rd place. But for how much longer? He has 2 cars in his mirror, the 42 and the 44. Yeah. Both closing in on him, but that 6 car still hanging in there in 3rd.
Yeah, I'm watching that 7 car. It looks like he's trying, from what I'm getting, it looks like he's trying a higher entry to diamond the corner a little bit so that way he can have a shallower exit and get that exit speed, which he has right now. He is peeking to the outside of Parley, unable to make it work, but he might have just found a new racing line for that car as his exit speeds are incredible.
Oh, he's blocking. I should remind the viewers, this is the last lap of the stage, so no required pit stops. This is clear to the green. Parley gonna block off the inside lane. Flash gonna give him the bumper into turn 3.
Coming out of
apron, but he's gonna protect the spot. Fucking hell. I'm having a stroke.
Parley gonna come away with the stage win after a hard charge from Showtime Flash. Elvin Priest, I believe, because I was too busy watching the leaders. I believe Elvin was able to close out 3rd. Sorry, I didn't know the lap count because I was watching our stream to make sure that the sound was still there. And it is, so I'm going to go back.
In time that it was the last lap. If I didn't look at my monitor, I wouldn't have known. So,
yeah, no, I was too busy watching I was too busy studying the 7 car. He found some at the end there. He had a high entry and rode it through and then dove it down to get that exit speed, and it absolutely worked. He was closing on the 5's car's bumper every single time on corner exit.
So
yes, it was Elvin Priest who got 3rd.
Yep. He got 3rd ahead of Field Filler in 4th, and Happy slipped back 2 spots to round out the top 5 in 5th place. So now we're going to rack him up for stage number 2. It's still Parley on point. Flash on his outside in 2nd, then Elvin and Field Filler in row 2. And green flag is underway for stage 2 here at Richmond.
Yeah, and Elvin wasting no time, gets right to the bumper of the 5 of Parley, trying to make sure that Showtime can't get to the bottom in front of him as he gets squirrely going into 3, but able to recover and get a run on turn 4 exit. And now they're side-by-side drag racing through the tri-oval.
Oh, contact at the back. They were 3 wide for 7th. Johnny Boy on the inside. Shaq and iShoot got together, but they all got it sorted out. That was a close call.
Oh, and Johnny Boy clipped the apron. Oh, and Kari's into the wall. As Elvin Priest able to clear the 7 and take away second. A lot of action in the back. I told you, you miss one corner exit. That turn 4 wall doesn't hit lightly.
Now Elvin is now running ahead of this 7 car of Flash. Early in the short run, you got Field Filler and Happy running 4th and 5th. Now let's see, Elvin's got himself out of the Hornet's nest. Let's see what his car is capable of. Same with the 44. Let's see what either of these guys have.
Oh, but he misses the bottom, and here comes Showtime. Showtime Flash.
Like,
oh, sorry.
I was going to say, they seem like minor mistakes, but they are costly here.
Yeah, it's now Elvin's about to drop 2 spots. He's right on the bumper of the 5, and now maybe 3 is here comes the rookie. Happy GFR. Looking to get into the top 4 as he clears the 42. One mistake. One little slip up cost Elvin 3 spots. That is crazy.
I wonder how happy is for. The top 2 is back to where it was. Flash back up to 2nd, onto the bumper of Parley in this 5 car. But now Field Filler is throwing himself into this party up at the front.
And that's been Field Filler's MO all season. He hasn't, like, he's gotten a couple wins. I believe he has 2 wins, if I'm remembering right. And but that's been the name of his game. Get what the race gives you. Don't push it. Don't overkill the car. Just take what the race gives you. And it's gotten him 2 wins and probably the most consistent season out of anybody in this field, I think.
So now we got Parley in this 5 car. I want to bring up the playoff picture again. With the points reset, it's actually moved him down 2 spots because of not having as many playoff points as his competitors, but he's looking to have a strong night with the points being as close as they are now to capitalize and throw himself in contention for this championship. He's already guaranteed 1 spot up.
Ooh, contact in the back of the field! Kari and the 8 car come together. They both get loose on turn 2 exit. Come together and make a crazy save to stop each other from spinning out. Woo!
These guys are cutting it close.
All right, now back to the point situation. Sorry, I kind of caught me off guard.
Oh yeah. So Parley looking to start off strong here in the playoffs. He's already guaranteed to gain at least 1 spot with HMS Speed Clinic coming into this race 4th in points, not here tonight. And already stage 1 winner, so he's already up a stage win to his total, so that's going to help him out with the playoff points. And he's looking to do it again. He getting another sweep. He got a sweep at Kansas. Oh, flash into the wall. He got loose.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. He is really working that car. Absolutely lost the handling out of turn 2. Took the whole back straightaway to try and sort it out. And now had a completely loose car through 3 and 4.
How the hell did he not lose the spot to Field Filler?
That's my question, too. Dude's got Batwing. Dude's got back jets. He's got the bat jets. Pressed a button in that car.
He might be having some bugs in that car. It's jittering a little bit.
Yeah.
Might be raising some eyebrows from that 44 as now there's a pass between the 41 and the 12. As those 2 are side by side coming off turn 2 with the 8 car gonna
they're 3 wide! Oh, and the 8 car puts Kari into the wall!
And now to the outside of the 41. Who's gonna clear the 8?
Ooh, I'm not taking. I don't want to take.
Side by side, they make contact at the back.
I'm not taking my eye off. I might have to keep my eye on this 8 and 12 because I think Kari's losing a handle on that car, and I still think he's not real happy with the way that I Shoot raced him coming out of that corner when they almost spun each other out. Because like I said, they were literally like one bad touch away from spinning out of the back on the backstretch out of turn 2. And I think Kari is still a little, I think they're still a little peeved with each other on how each got raced through that scenario. So that might be something to keep an eye on as this race goes through.
So we're about 17 laps complete into the 74 lap stage. There's one pit stop guaranteed to be happening here in stage 2. You got Parley leading Showtime, Flash, Field Filler in third. Those three are on an island of their own. There's a battle for fourth about to be taking place here with Happy and Elvin running fourth and fifth. And sixth place is looking to be Shack Attack, who was about a couple of seconds behind that duo in this 50 car.
Yeah, no, that 42 car has found a little bit of grip in this long run. At least a little bit of extra oomph in that car as the 6 car Happy just trying to maintain a little over a second gap behind these guys, but he misses turn 3. Elvin takes a sneak to his peek to his inside, I should say. Wasn't able to keep it, but the 6 car giving him the bottom.
Really missed it that time.
I think he gave the bottom. Yeah, I think he gave Elvin the spot, maybe. I don't know, but if he did miss the corner, it was massive.
That was massive. I mean, there's a way to give up the bottom, but like he gave him the farm.
Yeah. And now it dropped him over a second farther back between him and third.
Field Filler in this 44 car doing a great job keeping up at the top 2. Just kind of watching this battle take place, kind of playing it out in his head, thinking if there's going to be an opening, if he's going to be able to take it or not.
Yeah, just doing what he's been doing, man. Consistency. That has seriously been his key.
Probably thinking about pit stops as well, whether or not he's going to try to shortcut these two.
Yeah.
Would be a good idea.
Yeah, we saw him try that stuff at Dover. But the problem is, everything was going right for Field Filler at Dover. The last race of the regular season. The only thing that messed him up was he sped on pit road. So right now it's trying to mitigate those issues that we had in the previous race, so that way we could have the result that we should have had, which I think Field Filler is going to do a little bit better job of trying to make sure that that doesn't happen again. So I think Field Filler is definitely going to be one to watch for a good finish today.
And I think we have an early retirement. The 12 car has decided to park it for the night. There's a little bit too much damage for that car to carry on, so MFF Kari has parked it. He's out for the night.
Yeah, we saw it too. After him and the 8 car got together, that car could not take the corner well. He was dropping like a rock, and I think, there was just too much damage after that contact with I Shoot for that car to keep going. But right now, I Shoot in the battle with the 50. He's looking to his inside as the 50 trying to protect that bottom. Shack Attack, I believe, is in the 50. Yes, he is, and he is actually doing a pretty good job of keeping I Shoot behind him, but the question is for how long, as we still have those green flag pit stops we were talking about in the rear view, or coming in the short future here.
We'll look at Field Fillers on board. We got about 46 laps to go. There are 28 laps completed so far in this first stage. And usually these cars can go about as far as, I think, 40 laps before they run out of fuel. But they might want to... Oh, Field Filler going for second. Something happened to the 7 car.
Yeah, he got loose out of turn 4 and hit the wall in the tri-oval. The 44 Field Filler was able to get to his inside and take the spot. Like I said, the MO of Field Filler, just take what the race gives you. The 7 car got loose on corner exit. He had the run on him, took his inside, clean as could be, and now field filler moves up another spot closer to the lead. As this field is now
Sorry about that. The 5 car, I was going to say, it looked like with that battle, it kind of gave him a little bit of breathing room before we reached this round of pit stops, and this has kind of been the 5 car's kryptonite. Has been pit stops in these races, and that's kind of been breaking the thing that makes or breaks your race, and for Harley, it's broken him many a times here in Phantom.
Yeah, I think with the speed he has in that 5 car, he might be able to take a little bit more caution when going in the pit road to try and avoid those penalties that can come from speeding and really be able to get the pit road exit that he wants as well. So I think he has the ability here to really play it a little bit more cautiously. When it comes to pit road, is now the 44 of field filler. Absolutely creams the outside wall coming out of turn 2. Luckily, though, able to keep the 7 of Showtime behind him. I just think Showtime didn't have the time to react and just had to let off and let the 44 stay in front of him.
And now these two are in a battle of their own as we're in the closing laps of this fuel run. And look at the lead this 5 car's gotten now as a result.
Oh my God, yeah. One mistake and it cost. That's the thing too with the short track is one mistake costs you a second.
Got another pass for the 50 and the 8, and the 50 got loose that time.
Yeah, that is yet another turn 2. Loose exit. As these runs get longer, we're going to start seeing more of that because you're just trying to get as much as that car can give on the exit of these corners. The only problem is, as we go later in these runs, there's not much more that car has to give because those tires are just absolutely shredded. Because right now I'm looking on the 6 car's inboard. He's going to be coming as now I look at the 44 field filler who is coming down pit road. You called it, Timmy. He's doing the short pitting strategy.
Yes, he is. And the 5 and the 7 stay out on track. The 41 of Johnny Boy also on pit road. Now the 5 car signaling to come in. The 7's going to stay out another lap. Bit of a conservative entry for the 5 car. No speeding. Don't slide the tires too much. Don't get caught in the middle of the apron. Spin the car around.
Yeah, this is something we saw Saturday too. The car that had the most speed was able to do these extra laps, be the last one to come down pit road. And the funny thing is, when he did, he actually gained time. He was able to break farther away from second. So can that be something that Showtime Flash does? Just trying to get as fresh a tire on the field as he can.
Something is wrong with the 41 of old Johnny Boy. His car has come to a stop in turn 1, but he's gotten it refired. That was, I don't know what happened there.
Do you think he just overdrove the exit of the pit road, hit that apron a little too fast, and spun it?
I don't know, because he was stopped for a good minute. I wouldn't say a minute, but he was stopped for a little while.
Yeah.
I only caught the end of it, so now the 5 and the 44 are nose to tail. They're coming out ahead of the 7, who now has the tire advantage of this trio. And
yeah,
we'll definitely be seeing that play into effect as we get to the end of the stage.
Yeah, and what we saw.
That 41.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, you're all right.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the 41 car with that strange circumstance that happened to him is now in danger of going a lap down.
Yeah, no, what we saw on Saturday too with those 2 laps, fresher tires made all the difference because when you come out and your tires are warm, you can hold off the guy that has the fresher tires. Oh, as the 41 gets into the wall right in front of Parley. right out of turn 2. He's going to take it up high. He's going to let these leaders go by. He doesn't want to get in the way. But
with that, the 7 and the 44 made contact, and he gave him the bumper. And as a result, Flash is going to take over second place.
Yeah, and if you're the 44 car, you definitely didn't want it to happen that early. Is what we saw on Saturdays. You could hold off a guy with pressure tires that had 2 lap pressure tires for a decent amount of time, but eventually that tire wear reared its ugly head. So I think the 44 field filler definitely didn't want the 7. Now it's going to be that much. He's going to work that car that much harder than Showtime is just to keep up with him.
I believe that gap is now down to less than a second between the top 2.
I think Parley, you're going to see, is going to be more okay, because he's got 3/4 lap older tires than Showtime. So I think he'll be able to hold off the 7 car a little bit easier than the 44 car is, because he does have a more significant tire damage to Showtime than Parley does. But because we both kind of skimped out on doing it at the end of stage 1, while we have this little bit of a green flag conditions going on, we're going to thank the sponsors that we should have done at the end of stage 1, but we're going to do it right now while everybody's finding their place on the track and everybody's pretty single file. Going to throw a shout out there to MFF Motorsports, Chris's Auto and Towing LLC, J-Pace Racing, Everything NASCAR, Firelinks Racing Network, The Super Squad, ESMN, Everything Stop Motion Network, Mark McAttack 010, FTR Racing League, North American Racing Series, and MinaPeach.com.
And you can check all of them out on our website, which you will see on the top of the banner here on the YouTube channel.
Also going to throw out there, if you like what you see and you want to come back for more, we do this every Thursday night, Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Like, subscribe if you want to keep up with that. Ring the bell too, so that way you know whenever we go live with these events. Especially right now in the playoffs. But right now, Parley is actually breaking away from that 7 car. That 7 of Showtime really having trouble keeping up with our leader right now.
Absolutely. About a lap ago, I think I saw the 7 car flip the apron in 3 and 4. That definitely slowed them down a little bit, but that 5 car, I mean, both these guys are going to be working on their cars throughout the pit stops, throughout the whole race, making adjustments, make their cars faster throughout the night. And I think Parley probably made some really good adjustments on that 5 car to probably get that little extra speed that car has, and it's paying off for him so far. But we still got plenty of time left before this stage ends, and that 7 car, he's not leaving him yet. He's still there.
Oh yeah, we've seen that 7 car have the speed in every race, so he's definitely going to be right there with Parley. But this race isn't short, so right now it's all about consistency. You got through that first stage, you got through the first green flag pit stop relatively pain-free. Right now it's just how can you get through the rest of the race is what we're going to really be paying attention to. As I think the 7 car is closing in a little bit on this 5, slowly but surely. The tire difference might be starting to rear its head around, but Parley able to just maintain a good enough gap to where he can really focus out the windshield, not so much focus out the rear view mirror.
Absolutely, that 44 is kind of out of the picture for these two now, as he's kind of trying to hang on now. But he is comfortably in 3rd place. The next car back is a lap down, so not entirely sure. I'm not even sure who 4th place is. It might
Elvin.
be the 42.
It is the 42 of Elvin.
Yeah, so he's
in an island of his
quite a ways
own.
back too.
Yeah, 5th is Happy, the rookie, riding right about mid-pack right now. And about 2 seconds off of Elvin and 6 seconds off of third is where that 6 car is running. So we'll see if that 6 car of Happy can close in on Elvin here in the coming laps. As field filler really showing that tire wear. I'm actually really surprised. Field filler with 2 lap older tires is really able to maintain this gap he has on that 7 car.
Absolutely. That 5 car opening up the gap again. Got a couple extra tenths on that 7.
Yeah, no, he is absolutely on pretty good rails right now. He's hitting his marks, taking what the car is giving him, not over pushing it, not sliding out of the corner. He's making everybody else work while he runs his race. It's exactly what he needs to do at this stage that we're in right now. It's very early. Just take what the car gives you and make sure you can get it to the end in the same position you are in right now.
I do want to point out, I just noticed this. So Richmond has, I guess this track is brought to you by Toyota. You got the Toyota lettering lined up on the back straightaway. There is not a single Toyota in this field.
Oh,
I
shoot,
think they
you're
didn't
right.
get the memo.
No, we did not.
More issues for the 41.
Oh,
that car
wow.
Is just not handling all that great. Something happened on the back straightaway, and he gathers it back up again, and his night goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, definitely a guy who needs a good run. But yeah, he just lost the handle on that car. That car is, I think even from the jump, that car has not been doing what he wants it to do. So, unfortunate day for old Johnny boy.
But the good news is, just for him being here is going to benefit him in the points. With the surprisingly small field tonight, a lot of our playoff guys unable to make it into the field. This 41 car has been showing up week in and week out. He's been one of the few drivers that he's made it to every single race this season, and it has benefited him.
Yep, and
the points.
Yeah, and definitely the hidden thing is availability is still an ability.
He just hit the wall again there as his car is just taking a beating right now as the rest of the field. 19mm, we haven't really talked much about him. The 78 car hasn't really had the pace tonight. He's battling the 50 of Shack Attack as he is going to go to the inside of him, but Shack going to defend from the outside, doing a really good job of that. And the 78 is going to have to regroup and try again.
Oh, he tried to get try to use the bumper, I think, there on the entry turn 3. He went in there pretty hot, able to slow it down enough to not make contact with Shack Attack. So we'll see how that battle ends up.
Get a lap count here, 7 to go in stage 2. Harley
So
leading
glad.
and Flash in second.
So glad you did that, isn't that? As Parley still, that 7 car hasn't been able to make really much ground on Parley. But that 44 car, you can see those old tires really starting to show he is losing ground on the top 2. So if I'm the 44 car, maybe I might try staying out just a little longer next time green flag pit stops come out. We tried the short pit. It got us out in front of the 7, but one mistake and you will drop.
Yeah, I mean, the 44, I thought at the time it was a good plan and it probably sounded good on paper, but with that one mistake, to let him go that early in the run is hurt him. Like, if it didn't happen, he probably would have been able to hold him off for a little while longer.
Oh yeah, he was holding the bottom.
Exactly. But now we'll see what he'll be able to do in the final stage, as I think we have about 5 to go.
Probably coming to
Lap
4
count as
right
they
here.
cross the line this time by. Harley still leads Flash. It's 3 to go now.
3 to go. It's Parley. Actually, I'm starting to see that 7 do the same thing he did at stage 1. At the end, he is just closing ground as we got 2 laps to go here in stage 2. What does Showtime have for that 5? He has closed up to the bumper of that 5. Clips the wall, trying to get a wide entry into 3. Is right on the bumper. Can he make the move? As we now have 1 lap left of stage number 2. He is on the bumper of Parley. Gets a good run out of turn 2. What's he going to be able to do to his outside? Going to diamond the corner. Have a shallow exit, but Parley going to be able to hold him off and take stage 2. Another stage win for that 5 car. Huh?
Said almost looked like deja vu for a second.
I know, right? I thought he was going to give him a run on the outside.
But no, 5 car did a great job. Even with taking that defensive line into turn 3, he was able to keep the car pinned down and not scrub off too much speed. Hold off that 7 for the stage 2 victory. So Parley in this 5 car has swept the first 2 stages. And he will be putting those stage wins in his back pocket and at the end of the night. So Flash in second, Field Filler hangs on to third, then Elvin fourth, Happy, GFR in the 6th car rounds out your top 5.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on that 8 of iShoot. Definitely don't count him out before this race ends. He's back there in 6th at the end of this stage. Going to be seeing what he can do and what these guys do on pit road here before the start of stage 2, which we are coming.
Gets the lucky dog here, so he's back on the lead lap.
Yep. As they come out of turn 4, hit the Geico restart zone. Parley takes him to the green flag to start stage 3 side by side with the Showtime 7. Into turns 1, Showtime able to get through as the field through the back. Elvin getting stuck on the high side, but here comes that 8 car from 6th up to 4th as he continues to march his way through this field. Back in the top 5 and looking for more is now the 50 of Shack Attack. Looks to Elvin's inside. This is not what you want to see if you're that 42, but the 6 lets him in. Happy gives him a spot as now he looks to the inside of Elvin. Elvin could drop to the back of this train if he's not careful. As they're side-by-side drag racing. Elvin trying to dive it into turn 1. What does Happy have? He keeps it to his inside. Elvin going to dive it in to turn 3. The 6 of Happy staying with him as they're going to drag race down the front straightaway. Aishu up ahead, getting by the 44 and moving himself up to 3rd. But the regular season champ continuing to drop with the crossover on the 6. Looking back to his inside. This is a heck of a battle we have going on through stage 3.
Definitely not the restart either of these two were looking for, as both of them have dropped back from their starting spots. And they're in a battle of their own as the 78's also to the bumper of the 6. That 8 car in this final stage. Could this be the cream rising to the top? This 8 car's been working on it all night. And now he might be in position to run these leaders down if he's got a car quick enough.
I think he does. I mean, to see this car, this 8 car of iShoot back in 6, you knew that wasn't going to last long as the 44 absolutely missed turn 3. Goes way high through 3 and 4. Wow,
I just attack up into 4th place.
I just saw that 44 absolutely shoot through turns 3. He absolutely missed that. That was insane.
And I gotta shout out this 50 car of Shack Attack, the Pro-Am driver who made his debut on Saturday. Got the call to run this race tonight, and here he is in the top 5.
Yeah, and he definitely showed his speed on Saturday. Definitely being one of the cars to watch on Saturday. Right now, proving he's a car to watch on
Crash at the
Thursdays,
back.
too.
Johnny Boy's around.
Oh, no, absolutely 180'd right now. Oh, that car is mangled. Absolute hard contact with the outside wall. Or inside wall, actually. Spun the car the wrong way as he will come down pit road. Man, when you thought worse couldn't get worse.
Unfortunate.
Because right now the field, though, has separated themselves from each other. All that early stage racing action has seemed to have quieted down. And right now, it's Parley leading the charge with the 7 of Showtime in second. That 8 car of iShoot will round out your top 3. But definitely do not take your eye off that 50 car. Shack Attack, been showing his speed all night long. Looking to vie for a top 3 finish. But, so Shack Attack.
iShoot's on the wall.
Oh no! Able to recover, but that just lets the 50 close in on him even faster. But if you're a non-points driver...
Duo. Oh, he's in it again!
Oh, no. But if you're a non-points driver, how hard do you race these guys? I mean, there's a top 3 spot and a shot at the leaders right in front of you, but how hard are you going to race this 8 car?
Hold on, the 44 of Field Filler's coming out of the pits. When did this happen?
I do not know. I didn't even know he went down pit road.
I did not know either.
That's short pitting to the highest degree.
Now, oh my God, I don't know the pit requirements for this final stage. If it's 1 or 2.
Well, we're gonna find out here in the coming laps. As right now the 50 is Shack Attack continuing to close on that 8 car. As I look ahead and see the 7 get loose out of 4. Loses ground to the 5 car of Parley. As the field continues to run single file.
The 6 car looking to rebound from that restart as he's closed in on the 50. This is 3 cars up here for 4th. iShoot holding them both off. Got Elvin and 19mm both kind of giving each other company at the back of the pack, and the 41 car of old Johnny Boy, I think that last hit is about all that car could take, as he's now put it onto the hauler and is done for the night.
Oh yeah, that car was absolutely mangled. There wasn't much left in it after he's careened the inside wall. Is now I've been fighting with the 6. Oh, the 6 and the 50 made contact out of 2. The 6 gave him the bumper going into 1. I don't think Shack Attack was really happy about that. Showed his frustration, I think, maybe coming out of turn 2, because he either got loose on exit but came right down to the side panel of that 6 and shot back up the track.
It's been a talking point how loose these cars get off turn 2. So it might be a possibility that the 50 car kind of just got out of shape with that hit from the 6. And he tried to hold him off on the outside, and the car's rear tires just might have spun. Or maybe that's the excuse he'll want to go with at the end of the race.
He's just sitting there with a pencil. Tires got... But now, Move Happy back into the top 4 as he continues to march to the field. But that now has definitely spread that battle that was going on out.
The Field Filler has unlapped himself with his fresh tires. The 7 has closed back in on the 5. Are these two getting tired of seeing each other or what?
I think right now they kind of like where they're at, because they see each other, but when they look behind them, they don't see a thing.
Well, that's definitely the good side of it. But
I'd rather see a guy I know he can run around.
The show all night with the 5 and the 7. Nobody, not even Field. I mean, Field Filler was probably the closest one that had something for these guys, and he probably still might. I mean, he's on a different strategy. He's trying something out. We'll see how it pays off for him. I mean, still unsure of his strategy at the moment, but right now, the 5 and the 7 have pretty much been the show tonight.
Yeah, no, this 5 car has definitely been keeping it consistent. Dover was not the race you typically see from the 5 car Parley, so definitely trying to mitigate some of those mistakes so that way he can be there at the end of this one as these two just continue to separate themselves from that 3rd place car of iShoot right now.
Got 58 laps remaining. Harley's got 15 laps of fuel left in his fuel window. His right side tires are in the 40s right now, so he's with his rear being a little bit lower, so he's probably fighting a bit of a looser car at the moment. And the gap between the top 2 cars has kind of fluctuated throughout the entire race. Like, there were moments where the 5 car has opened a gap on the 7, and there have been moments where Flash has closed in on Parley, so it's just kind of just a matter of the driver at this point, because their cars are pretty even. It just comes down to driver at that point.
Yeah, definitely. Because right now the 44 car, even with those fresher tires, has not been able to break away.
He has, and that's kind of surprised me, knowing how fast that 44 has been.
This is going to be interesting. Maybe he could be, knowing that he's not a lap down anymore, trying to save some of those tires, riding the same as these guys whose tires are fairly worn right now, just keeping it with them so that way it saves his stuff. So when these cars do come down pit road, he can last a little bit longer and maybe come out on the right side of things.
So iShoot is running in 3rd. He does have a podium finish at Phoenix. It's been a while since that race, so he's looking to get back onto the podium and get himself back in the booth post-race. But then you also got the 6 car of Happy GFR in his very first race in Phantom. They put him straight up into the pro race, and he's been running top 5 almost the whole night. He's made a really good recovery on this restart. He slid back initially, but he's clawed his way back up into 4th place. He is right on the 8 car's bumper. He's going to have to drive off here, but he's probably not going to be close enough to set him up for a pass here, but he's definitely staying in his tire tracks for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Happy has been showing the speed tonight, working his way through the field, falling back, coming back up, and right now, sticking with the 8 car of iShoot, who's, again, had a pretty good run. Right now, it's who can win the battle for P3 right now before green flag pit stops as the 8 car gets loose out of 2, shoots to the bottom of the racetrack, has to come back up. Happy right on his bumper now as he continues to close in on iShoot. Through the tri-oval, is he going to try and dive it into turn 1? The 8 car showing the inside. No, given the inside, I should say. Happy unable to close in. Skims the wall trying to get the wide entry into turn 3. Stays on the bumper of the 8 car. Not able to close in at all, but sticking with him.
It's this car trying to set him up. But the 8's just running his line, taking a bit of a wider entry. I think they might have got together that time. One of them got loose off 2.
Yeah, the 6 car got loose off of 2.
This 42 is not having the best of nights so far as he's back here with the 50 and the 78. But, oh, 50 cars are around, I think.
Oh, he saved it.
Yeah,
but yeah, this isn't the typical run you see from Elvin, though. Seeing him this far back in the field, this is kind of not what we were expecting to see today. We really thought Elvin was going to be able to keep the fight on with these guys.
Yeah, I saw the 50 car On my frame, he got loose and kind of disappeared out of the frame. I thought he went into Narnia. He's going to go to the inside of the 78, meanwhile. That's going to be for position. The 6 and the 8 battle is not done yet. There's a lot going on despite there not being that many cars in the field tonight.
I know, right? But we're seeing a lot of that short track effect. You're seeing guys run each other into the corners, get loose, and almost wreck each other. Like, you're seeing a lot of that short track racing going on right now. I think it was something to do with that 78 car, maybe, because the 50 car Shaq absolutely sent it on him and drove him way high into the corner. So I think maybe the 78 might have had something to do with Shack Attack getting loose there that we saw earlier.
I do want to direct your attention back to the front.
Yep, I just saw that too.
7, but there is one key difference. That 5 car is gone.
Yeah, that 7 car looks a lot smaller right now. This is what Parley's saying. All right, here we go. The short pit worked for a little bit on that 44 car. We're going to see how it works here between the 8 and the 6. We're having a roaring battle as now Elvin and Shaq make their way to pit road as well.
Expect the 5 car to be pitting this time. He is right on the end of his fuel window.
Yep, here he goes, diving to the inside. The 7 car shows pitting as well. They're going to pit together here as the 7 car gets right to the 5's bumper. What an entry for the 7, a showtime. That's going to be something we have to keep an eye on because he came in hot. Was it too fast?
Was it too hot?
Yeah, was it too hot? We're going to have to... I tried to refrain from saying that, but you know what? We'll go with it. We're going to watch that 7 car, though, as the 8 and the 6 rejoin the track. We're going to see where they come out. Elvin and Shaq are out.
It's 15.7 for Parley.
I shoot was running 3rd.
Wow, it worked! What an entry for Flash!
Wow!
Also, not forget, the 44 car, I think he's going to cycle out ahead because he pitted way earlier. So
yeah,
we'll see whether or not how long this 44 is going to stay ahead.
And the short pit from I shoot allowed him to close in on these top 2.
And quite a bit, that 8 car. In 4th, he's got himself a massive gap over the 6.
But the gap between the 5 of Parley and the 7 of Showtime, as we now see the 44 come down, gives up the lead, and now that will move Parley back to P1. Showtime to P2, and I shoot back to 3rd. But now what can the 7 do? As we have, what is it, 35 laps to go. 34 laps to go. No, it is now 35 this time. Might be. Math is hard.
It's 35, but once they cross the line this time, it'll be 34.
Yeah, math stinks.
I want to go back to that pit stop again because it looked like Parley had about a second opened up on that 7 car. And Flash, miraculously, with the pit stop entry of the year, I feel like. Does that play into Parley's mind a little bit, knowing that these guys might have to pit one more time?
I think if I'm Parley, I still have the lead. There's still a half a second gap between me and that 7. Yeah, it closed up a little bit. But like we said earlier with this gap, he can still race out that windshield and not really so much out of that rear view mirror. Yeah, the 7 car got closer, but he's really not close enough to challenge for anything yet.
Elvin and Shack Attack throw 19mm into the mix as well. We got a 3-car battle for positions. Shack Attack swinging low for the side draft into turn 1. He's going to drive it in deep up high, but Elvin's going to have the preferred line, and he's going to clear him this time.
78 unable to make a move to his inside as well, so Shaq Trying to make the outside work, knew he had the chance to, but it just didn't materialize into anything as Elvin stays in front of him. I've been seeing the guys do this a lot. He takes a really wide entry into turn 1, and it works as the 42 gets loose on corner entry into turn 1. But the problem is the 50 car Shack Attack got loose on corner exit.
I think the 50 got excited. I don't think he expected the 42 to swing wide like that and kind of got eager to get around him, but now he's got him that time. The 42 misses the corner big time. The 78's going to get around him as well. Now making a 2-for-1 special. 19mm to the inside of the 50.
He's right there. He's got the nose ahead of him coming out of 4 as they're drag racing down the front stretch. Diving it back into...
If I'm not mistaken, I think this is for 5th place.
Oh, that would be huge for 1-9. Not really known for running in the top 5, so a top 5 finish for him would be amazing right now.
Yeah, especially tonight. I mean, his car was kind of struggling to establish a pace early on. I mean, he's had top 5 speed at other tracks, especially last season, I feel like. This season, not so much, but whenever the cards are dealt in his favor, the 78 takes advantage of them, and right now, he's about to pull away from these two.
Yeah, and if Shack Attack's not careful, Elvin's going to get by him too, because Elvin is close right back to his bumper. But got loose through turns 1 and 2, loses about a car length on him. So another battle we're going to have to keep an eye on, as the gap between first and second, I'm telling you, has not changed. Like, it is the exact same as it's been the past 6 laps. The consistency is between these two cars is what's really amazing me the most right now. Like, they don't, like, when they gain time, they gain time. When they want to maintain what they have, they do it flawlessly. Like, the race these two are having is one of the most, I want to say, consistent that I've seen these two have.
Yeah, especially when we're used to races where guys typically come and go. It's not often where you have like 1 or 2 guys just dominate throughout the entire race, and this is just one of those races where you got exactly that. I mean, they've just been in the lead of their own, the 5 and the 7. With the next car back, the 8, he's about 5 seconds back, running in 3rd. And
oh yeah, he gets a little glimpse of him coming out of the corner.
I mean, we still got about, I think, 26 laps to go.
Yeah, from what, Parley, 22. Parley just on pace to be able to make it to the end. But I mean only just on fuel alone. So we might be seeing the 5 and the 7 kind of like, all right, I won't make a move on you if you don't make a move on me, but I need to save fuel, and I know you do too. Yeah. So let's just keep running what we're doing.
I think that number is going to keep going down because look at his oil temp. He is burning that thing up, running 256 into turn 3.
Oh my God. 20 to go, and he has 20 potential to have 20 laps of fuel. Now as we come out, 19 laps to go. Harley.
Be keeping an eye on that. That thing is hot.
Yeah. We've seen Parley have these engine issues. He had one at Dover that took him out early. So
meanwhile, the battle for 3rd is looking to resume. Happy GFR has closed back in on iShoe.
Another pair that can't stay off each other.
Right. And kind of similar to that battle, that 6 car, I've noticed he's taken a lower, shallower entry into the turns while the 8 car is just kind of arcing it, just kind of let the car roll down.
Yeah, we've seen that work especially for the 7 car. He was doing the same thing. Let the car roll down and really gun it on exit because you have more of a straight line exit, so you can carry that speed a little better and not get as loose on exit when you push it. But that 6 car is now doing the same thing. Diamonds the corner a little bit, has an awesome exit, gets a run on the 8 car.
For 3rd place.
Yep. And he's going to pass him with ease, the 8 car. Gives the bottom, the 6 car will be more than happy to take it. Move the 6 car up to P3. We are coming now to 15 laps to go. Parley's still out front by about 2 car lengths, I'd want to say.
Yeah, not as comfortable of a lead as it was last stint. That 7 car still hanging tough. Unfortunately for me, Flash isn't streaming this race tonight. I think his internet is not allowing him to do that. So I have no idea what his fuel numbers are looking like or how much oil he's burning.
Drama.
Now, that 5 car is making me a little nervous with the fuel. I still need the seat. It is one stop, right, or 2?
No, they can make it to the end, but I think.
Yeah, but the mandates still, I haven't been able to find those yet.
I don't know. I think this might be good to the end as we got 12 laps left, and Parley is still. I mean, he's actually been able to save now. Yeah, he's saved a little bit through these runs. So I think right now Parley might, by a hair, be able to make it to the end on fuel. But right now, as you said, those engine temps still running high. So another thing he's got to worry about. But I'll run it till it dies. Like, I'm leading this race. I'm running it till it explodes.
It's a fit. I now have it confirmed. It is just 1 stop required. So now that makes me wonder what was wrong with the 44.
I think he just had a bad handle on the car because as soon as he lost the handle, as I thought he was going to become a problem at the end of the stage, nope, dives down, doesn't want to be the reason someone loses a position and or the race. Drops down to the bottom, lets the leaders go. Unfortunately, loses a lap, but it's better than getting in the way of what might be leading up to be a good finish, as we now are coming to 8 laps to go. The 7 car might just be close. No, that gap is still the same. I thought I saw him close in at the exit of turn 2 down the backstretch, but I'm not counting that 7 out at all, as the 6 is now broken away a little bit by a car length over the 8 car of iShoot, holding that gap along with the bottom through turns 1 and 2 really well. Definitely a battle we're going to have to keep an eye on here in the closing laps, as we now have 7 laps left. As 7, speaking of 7, has a wide exit through turn 2. Getting everything he can now. He knows he can make it to the end. Right now, he's just trying to get back to the 5 car. He's been maintaining this gap while saving fuel, but now it is go time to get to the bumper of the 5 to be able to make that move at the end.
Now, let me set the scene here. You have these 2 cars. You have Showtime Flash, the reigning series champion, 5 wins on the year, won 6 last year. He is no stranger to victory lane in this league. He's been one of the fastest guys in this league, but also you got this 5 car Parley, also one of the fastest guys. He's kind of got a monkey on his back. He's just about done everything there is to accomplish in this league except for that win. And you've got the best in the business in your mirror, and it all comes down to these closing laps. Can the 5 car finally break through? 4 to go.
Yeah, and that's what we're all looking for right now as he comes out of turn 4, looking for the 3 fingers in the air. 3 laps to go in the 7. Closing to about a car length and a half, 2. He's starting to close that gap to 2nd. but gets
but the
loose
7
out of
wiggles.
2!
That might be it.
We're coming to 2 to go. Showtime makes the error, overdrives the exit of turn 2, and loses about a car length on the 5, but able to really run it back through the tri-oval. Out of turn 2, closes a little bit more down the backstretch. We know this 7 car is pure speed, and he is closing in faster every lap. White flag is in the air for the 5 of Parley. Into turn 1, the 7 closing, taking as wide of exit as he can to carry the speed. But right now, unable to close as they come out of 4. Parley gets his first win.
Huge.
Woo! If you're Parley, are you just going, ah, just taking that deep breath you've been holding for the past 25 laps?
You hear that? That's the sound of the monkey leaving Parley.
I mean, dude, he had everything.
It's taken him a while, but he's finally done it. This 5 car in victory lane here in Phantom in the Pro Series, and in dominant fashion too. I think he's got maximum points. He got the pole, right?
Yep.
And swept the 2 stages. Talk about perfection.
Oh, that's gonna be. This is the perfect race he's been looking for. Because we've seen him have that early race speed. Also, can you invite these guys into the chat?
Can.
Okay, cool, because I don't have everybody on here yet.
And fastest lap of the race, too.
Oh my god, dude, that car was on
rails.
rails.
Just keep on coming.
But, oh my god. I actually have probably stream turned up. I really wish I could have turned it up so that way I could hear him just start either exhaling or screaming. Because you were spending the entire time after you came out of pit road saving fuel. And then when you got done saving fuel, you look at your engine temp and, oh, my car is burning up right now. And I'm leading.
And Happy finished 3rd?
Yup.
So I gotta invite him.
Hey, Parley.
What's fucking going on, man?
I had your stream open. I really wish I could have just heard either the 8-second exhale or the whole minute of just.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I just sent Happy an invite, so we'll see if we can get him in here. And I gotta shout out Happy too. This is his first race in Phantom, and to get a podium in your debut is pretty incredible.
I gotta remember to do this. I completely forgot again. We're gonna give a shout out to the sponsors here while we got a minute, because we didn't do it at the end of stage 2. So I'm gonna make sure we do it here at the end of the race. Gonna give a shout out to MFF Motorsports, Chris's Auto and Towing LLC, J Pace Racing, Everything NASCAR, Firelinks Racing Network, The Super Squad, ESMN, Everything Stop Motion Network, Mark McAttack 010, FTR Racing League, North American Racing Series, and MinaPeach.com. As we are waiting on the rest of the drivers to join the booth here so we can get their take on how this went. Who are we waiting on?
The 6, and actually they'll give me time to read off the rest of the finishing results here. So we get right off our top 3. I Shoot finishing 4th. 19mm got a top 5 after it went through early on. He was able to claw his way back up into 5th place. He finished 2 seconds ahead of Elvin Priest, who finished 6th. Not the kind of night we were expecting out of that 42 car.
Nope.
Especially when I picked him as one to look out for tonight. I guess he was one to look out for, just not in the best of reasons, unfortunately. So he will finish 6th. Shack Attack in his Pro Series debut finishes in P7, last car on the lead lap, with Field Filler finishing in 7th, 8th place, 2 laps down actually. Unfortunate with what happened to him. I don't know exactly what led to him pitting twice. That first stop pitting early, so I'll probably, if I get in touch with him after, I'll ask him what happened, but unfortunate for him. And then you got our 2 retirements from the race, Johnny Boy and Kari. And I don't see our 3rd place finisher jumping in Wallbridge. I'll talk to our winner if you don't mind.
Okay. But only if you let me talk to second.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
You won, dude!
I fucking won, dude. Holy shit. I am so pumped up.
And you didn't just win. You fucking dominated. You swept the stages. You got the fastest lap. Could it have been any more perfect?
Holy shit. I don't know, man. I just drove it. Like, the only thing I was barely looking in front of me. It was just flash, and that's all I saw. I was like, oh my god, like, no. And I know he's so good at pit entry and his thing, and I was like, man, just don't fuck this up. Don't spin. Don't do some bullshit. And I didn't. I was so fucking happy.
What was your reaction when you saw that 7 car closing on you?
Oh,
that pit stop?
I got so nervous. Honestly, I was just happy that I was just in front going into the pit. I was just pumped up, and I mean, I know Flash is like a fucking he's a mastermind behind strategy and stuff like that. So I knew he was gonna do something in the pits, and I was like, you know, what's he gonna pull up? And I didn't do any changes. I was like, you know what, my car feels good. I'm just gonna ride it out, and I don't know, man. I'm just fucking pumped up.
Absolutely, and what a way to start your playoffs now with coming into this race 5th. That's gonna definitely give you a big points boost in the standings. What does this do for the rest of your season and your pursuit of a championship?
A lot. I'm gonna take this momentum on to the next races. Just do what I can, you know, just race my race, you know my car, and try and get a win, obviously, at every single race that I can. So that's the goal, and it feels so good to finally get that off. I think that's a huge momentum going into the playoffs, man. Oh, let's go.
Okay, now I got one for you because Parley, we talked at the beginning of the week too. You were looking at Richmond like not one of the tracks you really wanted to go to, but this car was on rails. And me and Timmy were talking in the race. You've had poles, you've had stage wins, you've had top 5s, you finished in the top 3. How does it feel to get that monkey off your back? You got that win, finally.
I'm swearing, man, and if there's any kids watching this, I'm sorry, but it fucking feels good, man. I got 4 beers in, and I am just loving it. I only work tomorrow at 10 fucking o'clock, so I get to sleep in. Let's go!
We already scared the kids off pre-race, so who gives a
shit? Yeah. Oh, man, like, it's just awesome. Like, I just have no words for it, man. Like, I've just been searching for this one. I've been putting time into it. It's a hobby of mine. You know what I mean? I like going onto it. Thanks for, Elvin getting me into customs. And, I mean, thanks, Flash, for fucking making me sweat, man. That whole entire race, it was not...
Well,
thanks,
hey,
guys.
congratulations, Parley. Way to get that first win, brother.
Thank you, man.
All right, as we move on to second place, Showtime. What a race you had. I mean, Parley had a good car too, but your car was also one to watch out for. Walk us through that race and what you could have done, because you definitely had another car to beat today. What could you have done to get to that 5 car and potentially challenge for that win?
I mean, I was waiting for him to make a mistake pretty much for 200 laps, and he did I seriously tip my hat off to him. If that was, I mean, if there was, like, if I could describe a championship type performance, it was what he did tonight. You know, Favre forced me to drive a perfect race to run him down at Dover last week, and it was about the exact same I had to do tonight too. I played around with the wedge just a little bit during the race, and I tried a different gear for the race than I would normally run, but I don't think it, helped or hurt me in any way. I was able to get to him at the end of, the fuel run about every stage there. Just didn't quite have enough. I clipped the apron just like a little bit with 3 laps to go, and I was getting, a little bit every lap, from 10 laps on, and then it kind of killed my momentum. But regardless, I wasn't going to move him for the win anyway. That's not how I race anyone, and certainly wouldn't want to put a target on my back. If it comes down to the championship race like that. So he definitely earned it. My hat's off to him. It was great, clean race, and I'm pissed I had to look at his bumper the whole damn race, but he deserved it. I was thinking the whole time, I was like, he can win all the stages he wants. I just want the trophy at the end, and then I couldn't quite get it done.
Yeah, and I asked this question to a lot of the guys on Saturday, but it's kind of a two-parter, but what is this going to do for your momentum going forward? Because it's another good finish by you, another top 2. And moving forward, what tracks that are left in this round are the ones you're kind of wary of? Because you got, Charlotte, New Hampshire, and Talladega. And so far, the consensus is New Hampshire is one nobody wants to mess with.
I'm trying to find the schedule so I have it in front of my face here. Is it the Charlotte Roval?
No, I think it's just regular Charlotte.
Okay,
Charlotte Roval is in the
so-
next round.
I mean, I love the 1.5 miles, so I'm not concerned about that. It's just going to be a little bit longer race for everybody. I've never been a fan of New Hampshire. I feel like I have a decent car there, but I think Field Filler and Harley are probably going to be the 2 favorites, and I know that's Elvin's home track, so you could definitely throw him in there too. I'm just not a fan of New Hampshire, so I'll say that's probably the one I'm not looking forward to. But then Talladega, it just depends on how many friends you have. So I might have to say, hey, are we friends at all? Him and Talladega. Or else I might be riding around in the back. So it's just about being solid. We had a great start to the playoffs tonight, and try to get a win next week at Charlotte, and then just go from there.
Alrighty, Timmy, you got anything you'd like to add to the questioning?
I think that covered just about everything there. I mean, it's one of those races where you're not seeing a whole lot of guys come and go up at the front. These are the 2 guys that are going to be the ones to watch, and they were from start to finish. It was pretty much the same guys 1-2 all race long, and it is what it is. Another great points night for Flash. I mean, you with the points reset, you do come in as the points leader, at least coming into tonight. I don't know how it's going to look afterwards, but...
Well, I had some details on the field filler situation.
Okay, because I was wondering what happened there.
Yeah, so Field, certainly had a car I felt like that could hang with the 2 of us for sure, and Elvin told us before the race that it was 0-1-1 in terms of pits for the stages, and when we were headed into the start of the third stage, there was some questions about like, oh, we need to change it to 2, and I stayed quiet most of the race, but then, I made sure that the math, was correct, or we could do it on 1, and I guess Field didn't hear him emphasize that it was still 1 pit. So he made 2 pits thinking that it was still 2 pits per stage. So it was unfortunate for him. He certainly had top 3 car.
Yeah. I mean, I think there was confusion up in the booth as well. I mean, Walbridge definitely heard me confused most of the race. I was like, are these guys pitting twice?
Yeah, no, we were talking about that. Yeah.
So I knew that the first stage they could make it all the way. Like, I knew they could make it all the way through the first stage. I was just like, after that, I was like, I don't have a freaking clue.
It was close for the second and third. I think the third stage we had to save, I think, 1 more lap, either on the first run or the second run there, which I didn't do a good job at trying to save the first half of stage 3, and I let the 5 get too far away, and then I had to pretty much send it on pit entry and got the gap closed back up, but
Which we thought you were so getting a
as
speed
far.
penalty on that because you absolutely sent it into pit road and somehow was able to get it slowed down enough to where you didn't get penalized. So that
I
was
thinking about
definitely
giving
one of the
him a little
moves.
love tap and then apologizing later, but I didn't.
I think he was pretty excited enough to see that you were right behind him again. So
Yeah, thanks guys for continuing to broadcast, and always appreciate Elvin for putting in the effort to keep us coming back every week.
yeah, definitely. And do we know if third place is in the booth or not?
I don't think he is.
Oh no.
So I think that'll just be it.
Yeah.
We'll just wrap it up here.
Alrighty, well, we're going to wrap it up on our end. Thank you all so much for joining us for what was a pretty interesting start to the playoffs here for the Phantom Racing League Pro Series playoffs. We're going to sign off. Hope you guys have a good rest of your Thursday night, what there is of it. And we will see you guys later. Oh.
Saturday action, Pro-Am Series races at Charlotte. That'll be the longest week of racing that this league will have. 4 stages, 200 laps apiece, so about 600 miles in total, so it'll be a 600-mile week among both series, so definitely tune in for that, starting on Saturday at 9 Eastern, and then the Pro Series next week on Thursday, also at Charlotte.
Yeah, thank God I don't have to work Fridays.
Right.
All right, but yep, that will do it for us here. We will catch you guys Saturday night, 9 Eastern, for the start of round 2 of the Pro-Am Series. But we are signing off, and we are